Welcome to the first episode of the Daily J podcast, an incredible story of people's lives and everyday people that are part of this incredible community, and no matter where they come from, what color, background, religion, it doesn't really make a difference. And today we've got a really special, kind person that's come to join us, Kerry Craukamp. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Kerry is an exceptional human being. She is someone that I've got to know over the last 4 years from my other platform, and now become very friendly for and done a lot for. She's a very inspirational mom of 2 incredible kids and an amazing husband, and she's lucky enough to share a story with us. Welcome, Kerry.
Thank you for having me, Jono.
Amazing. Kez, tell everyone who you are. I mean, a lot of people will be watching this, know who you are, where you live, and about your situation, you know, and what you've got going on in your life.
Well, obviously, you know, my name is Kerry. I'm a mom of 2 children, and I have a wonderful husband who I've been married to for 17 years. I have a 15-year-old son named Matthew, and a little girl of 12 who was born with Rett syndrome. So Abigail was born normal functioning, and at the age of 4 was diagnosed with Rett's. She's non-verbal, she's still in nappies, and she spends every day at a special school.
Amazing. And let's just elaborate a bit more on Rett and what that means for a lot of people.
Okay, so Rett syndrome is a mismutation in a double X chromosome. So mainly girls are affected by Rett syndrome. That we do have a few boys across the world, but it's a handful. There are very few amounts of children or the boys that actually survive Rett's. And it's a neurodevelopmental syndrome. So it affects the brain, which means that the girls are non-functioning, they are non-verbal, some of them cannot walk, some of them they struggle to breathe, they have respiratory issues, they have a heart condition, and there's a lot of epilepsy that's involved, in that syndrome.
Okay, so I mean, like, you've been dealing with a lot for the last 12 years with that, and
so John, Abigail was actually born normal functioning. So she started to function. She started with crawling, and then all of those abilities stopped. So it's like having your child taken away from you. It's quite hectic.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's park that quickly
Okay, cool.
before we jump back there, because there's quite an incredible story of this. The first time we met, I remember you jumping up on the screen when we were during the lockdown, and we were doing our fitness, and everyone was locked down, and our crazy family was growing something. And here popped this beautiful family who used to exercise together.
Absolutely.
And do it during lockdown. What did that mean for you at that time?
It was a huge thing, actually. It was really awesome. My husband works in a huge corporate environment, so he spent 2 weeks of every month traveling. So I was pretty much a single parent. And then with lockdown, although he still worked because he was essential services, he was home. And we got to spend every night together. We took an hour of our time. We trained together. We laughed together. We joked. Abigail climbed on us and under us. Exactly the same with you and your kids, and sat on me while I was trying to do push-ups. And it was a huge bonding experience for us. I mean, we really spent a lot of time together during lockdown. So for a lot of people, lockdown was a terrible thing. I think for our family, lockdown was an awesome thing. We had so much family time together, so that was really great.
Yeah, it's so important. And I think our relationship grew when we came up to Joburg and we did row shows, and we got to see you guys and meet. And I was really blown away by you, because your strength resonates across. I'm a very physical person. I can feel it. I was blown away by your kids. It was love at first sight with Abigail. Henry's just this man. He's just a beautiful human being, and I've always just been blown away with your strength and your character, of how you don't make any excuses. You know, like you've got a challenging situation. It's a beautiful situation, but it's a bit more challenging than my family situation that would be. And I think it's really important how you've used health, fitness, community to get through a lot of those tough times.
Yes.
You know, and underline that. The third thing we mentioned there was community.
Absolutely.
Now, over this last 3-4 years, you've grown really strong friendships from this fitness community.
Absolutely, I have.
Let's talk about that. I mean, I can mention a few names, like you got your Carlo Mendes and these amazing people that you met online, and then physically met.
Absolutely.
And now you guys get together and you talk and you're supportive. Like, what does that mean for you? Because I've met these people. They're amazing human beings, like you are. But how's that helped?
So, John, I think a lot of time, and we're going to go back to being the parents of a special needs child, I think we isolate. I think I find myself isolating a lot, and a lot of my friends have immigrated. And when we started training and those friendships formed, I never hid Abigail, and I still don't hide Abigail. You know, my biggest thing is that just because you've got a child with special needs doesn't mean you get to go, oh, well, I can't. Or my child doesn't function, I'm sorry, we can't go overseas. We can't go rowing. We can't go fishing. We can't go to get-togethers where everybody's exercising and training and stuff like that. So taking Abigail along with to meet all the girls. I mean, the girls all fell in love with her. Nikki, Carlos, Sonika. I mean, she loves them. If we go to coffee in the morning, it's her best. She thrives off of having everybody around her and the kisses and the cuddles. And I mean, on Saturday morning, I spent the morning with Carla and Sonika and Candice, and we spent the morning crocheting. So not only have I started exercising, at 43, I'm learning how to crochet, which I never in my life ever thought that I would do. So I mean, it's just simple things that this community have given me, you know, not sitting and feeling lonely, not wallowing in my self-pity, being able to share my journey, to share my child. You know, how many people have I taught about Abigail? How many people have you taught about Abigail?
Wow, yeah.
How many people have learned that just because you have a child with special needs, that you don't have to sit at home, you don't have to be alone, you don't have to hide your child. I think because society points fingers a lot. You know, there's been a lot of times where people don't like the way that I brought Abigail up, or don't like the things that I do, and I'm not prepared to apologize for that. I'm not prepared to be afraid of being hard on her, because they said to me she would never walk, she would never talk, she would never have hand function. I mean, and you've seen her. She builds puzzles, she walks around, she loves everybody. She has the ability to engage with everybody, and if I'd just hidden her from the world, I think a lot of people would have gone without. I think she gives everybody so much love, and she fills everybody's hearts.
She's amazing. And, you know, my family resonated a lot with your story, obviously with Jules losing her sister with special needs too, and having that understanding of what you've gone through. But she's a light. She's a huge light of our community. And for those of you who don't know, just over about a year and a half ago, we put on a big production, and we said we were going to raise a lot of money for the Red, which was fantastic. The first of many.
Yes.
And we're waiting for the next opportunity to do that again, and it's coming soon. But what did that day mean for you? Because the one memory that I have out of that day, because it was a busy 26 hours
It was hectic.
But the one memory I have is just standing on stage and just being kissed by Abby and holding my face, and when she was meeting the Springbok Sevens rugby players, and they were all hugging her, and there was just this overall emotion of like, we can do things together if we try, you know what I mean? And what we did for Rhett and educating people around it, I think it was just such an amazing experience. But
awesome.
The joy in her face was amazing. You know, and the effort that your friends that you've met through the community did to come and fly down to Cape Town to see you, it says a lot about the human being that you are. And you must never forget that, you know. And like, I think it's important that it'll never be easy. You know, you just said to me now before, I haven't exercised in 10 days or 2 weeks, and I'm struggling to get it going again, and what are we going to do? And I'm like, we'll get it going. You know, like, everyone goes through those troughs. But I think it's important to know that you've got an incredible community and family behind your family that love you very much and are inspired by you, you know? It's incredible. We want to do something else for Rhett. What do we need to do? And what else do we need to grow and build to help?
So obviously the biggest thing is creating awareness. I mean, in South Africa, we've only currently got about 50 to 60 girls that have been confirmed, positively diagnosed with Rett. We have one boy. Overseas, you're looking at 5,000 children. So
wow.
The first step, well, for us as Rett SA, was obviously to create awareness. October is Rett Awareness Month, so we obviously in preparation to put together another virtual run, which we're hoping to obviously bang out.
And an event?
And an event. So at this stage we've benchmarked the 21st of October for a Rett run, which is, I would honestly like to find a venue and to get everybody together and run like that. But it's hard because we've got people running right across the world. You know, we've got people running in North Carolina. We've got people running in the UK. We've got people running in Cape Town. We've got people running in Joburg. We've got people running in Wakkerstroom because we have a family in Wakkerstroom. We've got people in Escort. So it's very difficult to obviously find one venue like the Comrades kind of to get everybody together. But the idea is to get as many people running virtually across the world so that we can create awareness for it as possible.
And you can imagine, especially in South Africa, in more rural areas, there must be a lot more kids that haven't been identified.
Yeah.
And it's not even about being identified, but what's happening to those kids and how they're being treated, because they probably don't understand what's wrong with them.
Well, that's the thing. When we were in Cape Town for our RETS conference last year or the year before, we actually ran into the Minister of Social Affairs, and she had told us that she had just come from a township where a young girl had been locked in her bedroom. And because her parents didn't know how to help her, she was abusing the people, biting and pinching and hitting, and then they were abusing her back. So in order to keep everybody on the outside safe and to keep her in the inside safe, they actually confined her to her bedroom. And then a family reported her. So I think there are so many misdiagnosed and undiagnosed people with Rett, or girls, gentle, boys, whatever. But if we can find those and we can help those families. And it's not only about a financial thing, Jono. Emotionally, it's such a roller coaster to be a parent, a family, a sibling of a child with special needs. It takes so much time. I'm on duty 24/7, 7 days of the week, 30 days of the month, 365 days of the year. My job never ends because I'm constantly, what is happening? How does she look? Taking stock. Even Matthew, as a brother, the bullying that he's been subjected to at JP Boys has been terrifying. His sister's a retard. Who's that stupid picture, that girl in your pictures? People are not okay. People are ignorant. People are ugly. People are ugly. And if we can just save one family, it's like I said to Henry, if we can share our story with one family and help one family that they don't go through what we went through or what another family goes through, then we've done our jobs. I'm a mom of a little girl with special needs. I've done 23 casualty admissions with Abigail. That's emergency, putting her in the car, rushing her to hospital, having her admitted, coughing up blood, having seizures. What happens to a family that can't afford that?
No.
What happens to a family who has no medication to help their child?
Yeah.
It's
and the point is, you can make a difference. If we club together and we do create more awareness, we can make a difference. And I think it's something we need to do. It's something that's really close to my heart that I want to do. I really, really, really just want to come back to the community piece, because you have been a big supporter of what I do, and I appreciate that. Me, I can be off the cuff, and I can be strong, and but I passionately believe in what we do, that we can make a difference.
Absolutely.
But the admiration for you is that you are a shining light for me, because you take no shit from anyone. You bring this energy even when you're low. You're selfless. You're always encouraging other people, and that's not easy to do when sometimes you just need a bit of a hug yourself, or not even a hug, just 5 minutes to sit on the couch and have a glass of wine and chill. You know what I mean? How do you do that? Because that takes a special person. It's like when you're kicked and you're down sometimes, and then you can still give to other people. And I think a lot of people here wouldn't even understand that from you. It's like, I get that question, like, how do you keep on giving? What drives you? What is that thing inside?
I think I don't know, it's who I am. For me, it's not about money, it's not about material things. It's about seeing that person smile. It's being able to uplift somebody else. It's about able to help somebody else, because there's always somebody else that's worse off. A lot of people always say to me, shame Kerry, I'm sorry that Abigail is special needs. But I say, but I don't understand. Shame what? Why? Because she's taught us, she gives us.
Yeah.
And Jono, things are difficult. Things are difficult for me, things are difficult for you. But doesn't matter, doesn't mean that my life is any harder than your life. It's just different.
Just different.
So we all wear shoes. My shoes are a different color to your shoes. It's the same as I say to the Reds parents. Although our girls have the same syndrome, they do not have the same things that affect them. And I always say to him, just because my daughter walks and yours doesn't mean my life is more difficult than yours, or your life is more difficult than mine. I have a child that gets into my medication, who puts things in my toilet, who's put a pen through my TV, who's overdosed on her own medication. So my child walks, your child cannot, and you have to carry her.
Yeah.
So your life is different. It's difficult, but in different ways.
Different ways.
So mine isn't any more or less difficult than yours. It's different. Now, I always try to say that.
But it's true, you know, and trust me, I sit in excuse heaven where I hear some auntie sitting from a posh neighborhood driving a Land Rover, and her biggest problem of the day was getting stuck in a Cavendish parking lot. And that's tough. And like, you know what I mean? It's all about levels of perspective and how you deal with that and what you go through. It's such an important message, you know, and like sometimes you've got to always remember someone's in a different situation to you, and you've got to get your base level, and you've got to just keep on going with that, man. Wow, it's such a good message. You're really good at this. It's such a clear message. Where do you see the next 5 to 10 years going?
I don't know. See, for me, that's a difficult question, Jono, because I live every day as it comes. Henry and I are polar opposites. Henry is very much about how things are in 10 years' time. Where are we going in 10 years' time? I live every day as it comes, because every day with Abigail is different. Every hour with Abigail is different. Yeah. So if I get up today or I get up tomorrow, I start again with stock take. How does she look? Is she sick? Isn't she sick? How does it look? If I miss one thing, it could be that we land up in hospital, or it could be I lose my child, or it could be. So for me, I struggle to live in 10 years from now. I have to be, I'm very much in the moment, emotionally involved, 150% invested for where I'm going now. I cannot tell you where I see myself.
So interesting, because that's how we all should live our lives. And it's a perspective you should be taking for yourself every single day, of taking stock of where you are, how you respond to a situation, this bad work day, good work day, fight with my wife, fight with my husband, my auntie, my granny, my boss, whoever it might be. Is it going to deviate me? Is it not? Kids are sick. This is the situation. Everyone, we've all got our stuff. Absolutely. But you've just got to wake up every day, take stock, and just keep moving forward. And sometimes the southeast will hit you in your face, but you just got to walk around it. It's such a powerful message. Thank you for sharing it, because it means a lot, because I want people to watch this and like really think about their current situation, and then how they can be better and how they can influence, because you have the ability to change yourself, and when you change yourself, you have the ability to change others, and that is a responsibility. And if we don't do that, we live in a selfish world, and the community doesn't grow, and you regress as a human being. You know what I mean? Kez, right? Rett syndrome, rebuilding, doing exciting things like this first thing. We're going to plan something awesome, and we're going to do it again. We're going to do round 2.
Cool.
We're going to get the production team involved. We're going to go raise a bunch of money to create and help in the best way forward. We're going to bind the community. We're going to do something special, but it requires everyone to get on board.
Absolutely.
100%. So what do you have to say to that person who is sitting at home, feeling sorry for themselves, talking crap into their head that they can't get up in the day and do exercise? What do you say to that person about joining the Daily J, coming and just trying and getting involved?
If you have legs and you have arms and you have a voice, you need to use it, because tomorrow it could be gone. So get up and make the best of your day. You've got to be healthy, you've got to be happy, and you've got to be busy. You can't sit and wallow. And there are so many people out there that don't have those privileges. Even watching Abigail and even watching Matthew, who is a little boy of 15 who has a sibling but doesn't actually have a sibling. He has nobody to engage with. Tomorrow, that could be you. So for me, being able to get up and run, get up and play netball, get up and play water polo, go and do a hit session, whatever it is, whatever gets you going. I do all sorts of things. I play netball, and I mean, if it wasn't for the Daily J, there's days that I play 3 games of netball in succession. That's an hour and a half of training that at 43, I never thought I'd be able to do. So if you don't get involved and you don't get up, then what happens tomorrow if it's gone and you never can again?
A little birdie told me you're also playing water polo. What's that about now? Or are you just showing off?
Midlife crisis.
Learning to play water polo.
At 43, learning how to play water polo.
Tell us about that.
So my son is a JP Boys and he plays water polo, and he's fallen in absolute love with the sport. And as JP moms, we decided we were tired of sitting on the sideline watching and not really understanding the rules. So now a group of moms are now playing water polo at St. Benedict's. So we go on a Wednesday night and we spend an hour and a half in the swimming pool learning how to tread, learning how to catch the ball, and learning how to play water polo. And in 4 weeks' time, we're playing our very first match against the St. David's moms.
Oh my goodness.
And we're terrified. But it's not only about the water polo, Jono. It's about engaging. It's about being fit. It's about getting a group of moms together who've never swum. We've got 2 moms of color who've never been in the swimming pool, which is phenomenal for me. I mean, just to watch those moms grow. Like you said, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, the one mom said, "Oh, but how am I going to fit in a costume?" I mean, she's in a size 44 costume, but she gets out of her clothes into a costume.
100%.
And she gets in that swimming pool, and even though she can't swim as fast as us, she's there.
And she tries.
And for me, it's amazing. Like I absolutely love it. And we talk shit. We make jokes. The poor youngster that's coaching us has to go and wash his ears and his eyes out with Jick because we talk about broken nipples and we
I
talk
know
about
how he feels.
Yes. So it's but that's what it is. It's about trying new things. It's about being confident enough. And I think that's what the Daily J has given me. The confidence to step up, the confidence to try new things, the confidence to go out there and say, "Hey, I'd never stood in front of people and spoke about Abigail before. Yes, I'm happy to talk about my child with people randomly. I never got up on stage and spoken about my child until we did that huge event. Never. I never in my life imagined that I'd be standing in front of 100,000 people telling everybody about my child." And those are the things that you've given us. The confidence to be able to stand up and be proud, the confidence to try new things, the confidence to play an hour and a half of netball and to get in a costume in front of 30 other people and swim for an hour. And those are things we never had before.
You need a job. You're just nailing it. It's like amazing. And your confidence is incredible to see. Thank you. You give me a lot of inspiration. My family loves you. I love you. I love your family.
We love you back.
Never stop doing what you're doing because you never know whose lives you're changing around you. Your story is just getting started, I think. And you got my commitment that we're going to do some special stuff together.
That'll be cool.
And thank you for trusting, man. It's awesome to have you on this show and like just feel your energy for what you're doing. I feel sorry for those moms who are going to take a beating in that water polo game. But never stop being who you are because you're an exceptional human being. We love you unconditionally. And we're proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you.
Send love to the kids and Henry when you get home. And that is the first episode of the Daily J. If you are sitting here watching this and you don't feel something, you have got a dead soul inside of you. Either get up and do 100 squats or go and invest and do something in yourself. But by God, get off the couch and do something because you never know how you can change someone's life by doing something for yourself. My name is Jono Mankies. We'll see you at the next episode of the Daily J. See you soon.